Hello, my name's Piaf Stefanovski, and for my digital presentation I chose the language of mathematics, and my location was Chinaman's Island Reserve in Yarrawonga, Victoria. I think it's important to first discuss the importance of place. So connecting society, especially children, to place is a vital part of their lives and their education. And it's that intimate, sensual, emotional, conscious knowledge of place that's important to ground children and to have them respect the more than humans in their world. Because when we have no place, then no place is sacred or special, and the environment and the world around us begins to suffer. So when we connect with place in a meaningful, sensual way, we learn to care about it and protect it. So when place and matters of concern become entangled, a complex view of teaching and learning is formed, and that supports connections with the planet in living with and acting with more than humans. So when we talk about place in early childhood settings, we have to recognise that children's worlds are small, detailed places. So as you can see from the pictures on the screen, they can be as small as a caterpillar eating a leaf, or an ant nest, or a beautiful fuzzy furry leaf that they find in the garden. So one of our roles as educators is to give the children a sense of place. So we teach them to walk the land, learn the names, embrace the sensuality, so the feel of the air before it rains, or the different leaves that are growing in the garden, or how rough the bark is. To explore new perspectives, to learn the stories, and to tell the stories to their family and friends. So when we think about mathematics, I often think about it in terms of being taught in primary school, I guess, learning how to add and subtract, multiply and divide. But maths isn't just in the classrooms, it really is everywhere that we look. So the language of mathematics includes space and spatial concepts, measurement, patterns, shape and classifications. So the most important attribute of an educator is our ability to play and to use mathematics in everyday situations and interactions, and to encourage children to do the same thing. And I think it's also important to note that mathematics is not just an abstract concept, it can be a really sensual, tactile language. So we can classify bark according to how rough it is, we can touch different stones, we can pick up and see which one's heaviest, and all of those things really make a difference in teaching young children about mathematics. So in the slides ahead, I've got a few different ideas for teaching children about mathematics in a natural environment. So the first one I found was leaves. So I'd have the children classify the leaves according to shape, size and colour. We could find the pattern in different bird songs. We could measure sticks and order them from longest to shortest and thickest to thinnest. We could rank the rocks from lightest to heaviest, and we could make sure that that wasn't related just to size by using rocks of different types and densities. We could collect water from our lake, which is somewhat murky, and have the children order them from most opaque to least opaque. And if water bugs and aquatic leaves were present in the samples, then we could categorise and count them. And we could also collect the same volume of water but in different shaped bottles to challenge the children to think about volume and capacity. So we could have a really good look at some gum nuts and order them from the most to the least amount of holes in the ends of the gum nuts where the seeds come from. We could count how many gum nuts are on each cluster on the branch, and we could also rank them according to size. We could collect bird feathers and categorise them according to species or to colour of the feathers. We could measure and arrange them from longest to shortest and from widest to narrowest. We could look for patterns in the bark, either from insects or growth patterns in the bark. We could rank the bark from smoothest to roughest. We could decide which type of bark was the most common. We could see how many different categories of bark we observed, and we could count how many trees were in each category. We could find a beautiful big tree like this and count how many of us needed to hold hands to reach all the way around it. We could judge how tall it was compared to the children and to the adults. We could see if the children could fit under the branches, if the tree was tall enough for them to do that. So these are just some of the ideas that I came across going for a walk in our nature reserve, and there were so many other ones that were related to mathematics and nature, and it was a really exciting project to go and have a look and see what learning opportunities were there.